If you haven't worked with me before, met me before, you will be hearing from me, and you will be getting more information about the 5S vocal method. But again, I'm Dr. Hicks, and I have been working on this. Hi, Chantel, can you mute your? Thank you, baby. I have been working on this program and developing this method of vocal technique that I find really works well with keeping the voice conditioned, keeping the voice in shape, and working to make sure that all singers of all styles have a technical foundation of which to build their careers and have longevity in their careers. So I'm also developing it for speakers in addition to singers. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. You'll get information in via email if you sign the release on when that program will launch and how you can get involved. And there's also a link in the chat to my new Facebook group, which is the 5S Vocal Method Facebook group. And through there, if you have questions and things, I like to be able to create a community where you could ask things that you're working on and I can give you feedback. Maybe post a video and then I can give feedback. So I'm working through how I can be of service. But I want to get back into coaching and working with singers who are aspiring to make a living out of this. So let me jump in. Like I said, we have a lot of singers. But everyone say hello to Rod. He is assisting me. And he will
Everybody.
be dropping the names of the singers in the order as we start the masterclass. So if you are still interested in singing for the class, hopefully you've received the instructions. We just need 60 to 90 seconds. And Rod will put the order of who will be next for the masterclass. So we'll try to get through everybody. If you're willing to stay longer than an hour so that we have time to get through everyone, I'm willing to stay longer. It's a free Saturday afternoon, but not too long, of course. But I want to make sure that I have time to be able to work with everyone that signed up to sing. So anyway, the vocal technique, vocal method, 5S. So I've been working on basically how to break down these 5 concepts that all vocal technique or vocal styles tie into. So these are things that we all need as a part of our singing. And the first one that I'm sure all singers who have ever had a voice lesson has been talked about: support. Ooh, my handwriting. I might have to pull that down off the wall. Can y'all see that? Support. So with support, I'm not just talking about the diaphragm. I'm actually starting with mental support. So what perception do you have of your own voice? What messages do you tell yourself? Are we speaking negatively or thinking negatively about our voices? Are we saying, oh, I wish I sounded like this person, or I wish I could hit that note, or I'm not that kind of a singer, or I can't do runs? You know, when we start to label these things, it really starts to take away from our mental support. And the strongest muscle that we sing with is our mind. So getting to the point, my method and the way I've been working to get myself, keep myself motivated, keep myself strong enough to sing, has been to check what I am telling myself mentally. So that mental support is first, and then the body support is taking time to get into the alignment. How is your posture? Is your posture supporting the breath or the body or the sound that you want to make? Or is it hindering? Is it getting in the way? And the biggest thing, you know, life happens, we're stressed. I'm sitting at a computer most of the day. So, you know, in all my years of training, of course, I've learned how to stand when I'm singing. But what I didn't realize is how I'm holding my body and my alignment the rest of the time also played into my preparation or my support for singing. So I really had to start checking, and am still checking, you know, my alignment and my posture, because if your spine gets out of alignment, it starts to affect parts of your other parts of your body. So there is a direct relation to the alignment here and the flexibility or the freedom that we need to be able to produce here. So knowing what your body is doing, how you are producing that energy, and then of course the other part of support would be breath, and knowing how to fill up the lungs, where that breath lives. A lot of times when I'm working with my students and we start talking about the diaphragm, they can start to push that breath down too low. Of course, we also have, singers coming from a non-trained tradition where the breath may be too high. So just being able to notice how you're filling up the breath, where the breath lives, and what kind of air you need to support the sound that you want to make. So the first S is support, if you got it from the theme song. The second S is strength. So in strength, paying attention to how are you powering the engine of the voice? What muscles are you using to power the sound? A lot of times singers and students might end up powering the sound from the muscles in their chest, which can create a lot of tension and constriction. So we want to make sure that that power is coming from the abdominal region, the obliques, the muscles in the back. So knowing what muscles we engage to provide that strength, excuse me. And just knowing how much strength to apply so as not to burn the engine out, okay? So knowing how to gauge that as well. The third S is space. Understanding the shape and the space that the voice, that the throat and the voice needs to travel through, and the air, of course. So I like to use this as a little analogy of that natural, this is from my water, but that natural shape in the vocal tract. If you could see on the inside, you would see that the vocal tract would come up here and then it'll curve and dip down here. So the pathway in which the air travels is what is going to produce the sound and get the vocal cords vibrating, which produces the sound that we want. So are we providing the space that is needed for the air to travel freely, for the air to be supported, for the sound to be shaped in the way that we want, and for the power that we want as well? So what shape are we giving? A lot of times you might see a singer, and you can even hear in my speaking voice, you might see singers go up for notes like this, and that space does not create enough freedom for the voice to move and vibrate as it needs to. So paying attention to that, and these are all things that it takes time to build up the muscle memory so that we know exactly how we need to approach certain sounds, certain styles, certain pitch levels, etc. Fast notes, slow notes, all of those things. So what support are we setting up? How are we strengthening that sound? What space are we providing in that sound? And always have a smile. And basically that means I'm always singing like this, but it is more so I always work to have the lift of the soft palate, the lift in the flexors here, the cheekbones. Even when I'm singing sad songs, there's always a lift that I'm striving for because it frees up the airflow and it frees up the tension that we might feel on the chords, okay? So it also allows me to project my sound through orchestras, through amplified speakers, all sorts of things. So with that smile, we're able to extend our range. We're able to balance out the air pressure and the flow needed for the voice to function, as well as, I forgot the last thing. To be able to project the voice, okay? And the last S is submit, M-I-T. All right, and submit, it is submitting to what your voice needs to function at its best. People ask always, can I eat this? Can I drink this? What should I do for this and that? And I found that it's not one thing for everyone. Everybody's body reacts differently to certain things. So, paying attention to what your body needs, what your voice needs, what are your vocal habits, taking inventory of that and submitting to the discipline needed to either correct those habits or enhance the habits that are needed. Being able to submit, also submitting to the process that is needed to build up this muscle memory, knowing, submitting to the airflow that is needed for the message, of submitting to the text, submitting to everything that you are doing when you set foot on stage, or you're in the pulpit, or you're recording, or whatever you are using your voice to do, submitting to what is necessary for it to be its best and to be most efficient. So the reason why I'm starting to do this is I want to be able to equip singers and speakers of all styles with some of these tips and ideas to be able to prolong or enhance what they're already doing. So especially if you're singing, if you've continued to sing with your church ministry, and you're online now every week, and knowing how to preserve that instrument so that you can continue on in your ministry, whatever it may be. If you're a music teacher, how are you using your voice, even when you're speaking, to be able to support a healthy sound so that you can speak all day long without strain. You can sing all day long without straining. And then the last part of that submission is knowing when to just be quiet, knowing when to rest. That's a hard one for me because I want to get up there. I committed to something, and and actually that's a part of my testimony, which you'll find out later or in the program, is that even with all my training, did not listen to my body, did not listen to my voice, and pushed myself to a point of a vocal injury. And that changed everything for me, So as I worked my way back to a healthy sound and a healthy production, I really started to take inventory of these habits that were hindering me, knowing when I just need to be quiet, knowing how I'm using my voice when I'm not singing that might hinder what I needed to do when I am singing. So I have talked, I think, beyond my 10 minutes of what I set for myself. So I do want to jump in here with the singers, but before I do want to kind of let you know to be on the lookout for the program. It's what I'm working on is a 1-week boot camp. And just as you would want to enter into an exercise program or learn a sport, I'm setting up exercises that will help to build each one of these skill sets and strengthen that. So if you're looking for things, I don't know what to do to increase my breath support, I've got a chock full of exercises to help with that you can do every day. You'll have videos, I'll demonstrate for you. I'll also talk about what the goal of that exercise is and things that you should be paying attention to, because you don't want to just go through exercises without consciously knowing what you're working on. So that will be a week-long boot camp. I'm looking for testers. So the first thing I'll do is put out a beta test. And those of you who have signed up will have first dibs to this beta test and be able to give me feedback. How did it work? What things didn't work so much? And then how it helped you in your vocal development. So that's in the works. You'll be hearing from that. And just to remind you, the Facebook group is in the chat. Rod, if you could repost that for those who are just joining us. And that's where I'll be starting this community. If you have questions about vocal health, vocal technique, things that you're working on, you may be struggling with, that will be our community, okay? And you can be able to ask things, and as I go through with them, I'll respond, and just want to be of service to all those who are using their voices on a regular basis. So first up, we have my soror, Shanice Smith. Can you come off mute?
Hello, Sarah. How you doing?
Oh, wonderful, and you?
It's so good to see you. I miss you terribly.
I miss you too. And I miss that South Carolina weather.
Yeah. Oh, okay, you do.
I do. We'll be talking all day. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, for everyone else, my name is Shanice Deckard Smith. I am a co-director and voice teacher for the Artistically Gifted and Talented Consortium during the summer, and then during the school year, I'm at Lake Marion High School. I was the former director at Orangeburg Wilkinson High School, and so now I'm at Lake Marion, and I am also a choir director, and my husband is the pastor of our church, so I have many roles. And as far as singing, vocalize, okay, most of my singing is singing choral music. I don't sing solos. I kind of stay away from that. But as far as vocalizing, I want to tell you this, Lori. Last summer, I went to the McCloskey Institute at Furman. So
really?
I know I've been talking to you about that for a while, so I finally made it.
Okay, good for you.
And what I did, some of the exercises that they did, I did it with my students, and I just wish I had that kind of training a long time ago, because I wouldn't have to keep repeating myself. So, but I'm glad to be here, and I will be part of the group, because I will have a lot of questions for you. You know, you're one of my favorite singers and coaches. So.
Well, thank you. Okay, what do you have to sing for us today?
Oh, me? Oh, Lord.
Hey, okay. You signed up to sing.
Oh, I know I did, but I thought it was just for you only.
Oh no! Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's a master class. Yeah, we still for the benefit of all.
Okay, remember I said I'm not a vocalist.
So that goes back to that.
Okay, I know. All right.
Well, we're telling ourselves you use your voice on a regular basis. You are inspiring young singers, and we're all working to keep that, in shape or working to get better. So yes, you are a vocalist.
Well, we'll see. One of my favorite songs is My Tribute by Andre Crouch.
Yes.
So I'll just sing a little bit of it. Okay. How can I say thanks for the things you have done for me? Things so undeserved, yet you gave to prove your love for me. The voices of a million angels could not express my gratitude. All that I am and ever hope to be, I owe it all to thee.
Man, thank you. Give her a hand. All right. So, no, come off of mute. I'm still with, we're going to get into this. So first of all, I love that I can understand all the words, even though I already knew them, but I'm also always listening for articulation. Okay. So the first thing I would kind of comment on is your space. And I know you're at the computer, but I'm not sure if you're doing this on a regular basis, but when you're sitting like this, it can kind of hinder the flexibility that we need right there. So I would just ask you to kind of bring your chin back and down a little bit and feel more of a bobblehead. All I am and never hope to be. What's that part where it goes up?
To God.
Oh, you didn't sing that. The part before, the part you sang, and then I could tell it was a break in your voice. Oh, help me.
Oh, yeah. Yet you prove your love for me, the voices
of a million angels. So you adjusted to try to reach up for the notes. If you could think the opposite direction, the voices of a million angels. Somebody is calling me, and y'all need to go away. All right, let's do that again. The voices and.
The voices of a million angels could not
Now with that, instead of cannot express, cannot express, cannot express. Can you say that?
Okay, cannot
Yeah,
express.
keep the lift, keep the smile in the back. Cannot express.
Okay, cannot express.
Yes, you lifted on not X. Lift on can.
Okay,
Cannot express.
cannot
I know,
express.
yeah, it's pulling away from you because it's used to closing up on you. So I'm trying to get you to lift over the break so that
Okay,
you don't fall into the break. It's like you're walking in cracks. I don't want you to fall in the crack.
yeah,
Stay above the crack.
okay.
Voice cannot express.
Cannot express.
Cannot express.
Cannot express.
Yeah, put a little bit more air into the express.
Express.
Yeah, you're going this way. Can you go vertical?
Okay.
Express.
Express.
That one.
Okay.
Okay. Cannot express.
Cannot.
All right. The voices. Can you start right there?
The voices of a million angels cannot express my gratitude.
Okay. So immediately you gave me express my. So
Okay.
that alignment. We
A
really
lot.
got to work on maintaining that cannot express my gratitude. All
Okay.
of the work is on the inside, okay? Close your eyes and I want you to imagine the space that you want to feel all on the inside of your throat, okay? The voices.
The voices of a million angels cannot express my gratitude.
That was better. That was more connected, all right?
Okay.
So I
Okay.
think you need to kind of be still with the movement and feel the energy on the inside because
Yeah.
you're creating it on the outside, which is going to hinder the flow, the airflow.
Okay.
So if
Okay.
you can work all of that on the inside, the voices of a million angels, keep it nice and open and connected to that low abdominal muscle.
Okay.
Cannot express my gratitude. That's a break for me too.
Mhm.
But as I am powering my air, I'm masking over the break so you don't hear it.
Okay.
We all have those breaks, but the more space we provide, then
Okay.
it masks or it covers up that break. Okay. Yeah, and it's not always gonna. I'm not talking about that space. I'm not talking about that space. It's
Okay.
more space back here, and there's a flexibility in the jaw. Okay, so you see how my voice got natural as I focus on the lift on the top and just relax my jaw more.
Okay.
Yeah. If I do this, it's not gonna sound
Yeah.
intelligible. Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
why I have problems with my jaw.
Yeah. Hey, yeah.
Hey, speak the Lord.
Hey, Laurie, how you doing?
Can you? All right. So let's.
So good. I'm gonna get you. I'm
Good
gonna
to
be on
see
the
you
next
too.
one. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So yeah, just work on that alignment in that space and
Okay.
allowing that the lift to go up and the jaw to just hang down so you don't have to
Okay.
force the sound. Okay.
All right.
All right. Let's go. Who's next, Rod?
Rhonda Jackson.
Hi,
Hi, how are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am pretty good. I
Good.
cannot complain. Glad you're here.
Yes, so I wanted to say thank you for this opportunity. It's been something I've kind of been thinking I would want to do. I've been singing since I was a kid in church, but have never really kind of had any formal vocal training.
Mm-hmm.
I've done choir, I sing solo, lead, I do weddings, funerals.
Right.
Um,
Soprano?
I sing soprano primarily,
Mm-hmm.
but I think I have a pretty extensive range. And as I get older, I'm just wondering, can I still hit some notes?
Okay.
And I haven't really been singing for like the last 2 years on a regular basis. And so I'm kind of feeling like I might be resting up a little bit.
Yeah.
So I like the idea of, you know, maybe having some exercises and things that I should be doing on a more regular basis. And despite the fact, Dr. Lori, that you and Sister Shanice are those Delta girls, it's all
Oh,
love.
AKA those. Yes, yes. Well, Jake, I'm glad that you are investing in yourself, whether it's time or whatever, to be able to keep that muscle engaged and keep working on that singing muscle.
Yeah.
So any way I could help, I'd love to have you in the group.
Yeah.
So what are you singing for us?
So I'm singing a song called "In His Safety." So yeah, it's one I think I'm pretty familiar with. So I kind of wanted to do something I was a little comfortable with.
Okay.
So yeah. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High God shall abide in His grace. And he that walketh through the valley of death shall in no way be entangled by God's rod. He shall be kept. And if I go into the heavens, He knows. And if I go into the deepest depths, my God knows. So no matter what may come my way, I'm covered by His love. Even when Satan seems to rage, by God's hand, I remain safe. I'm okay.
Yeah, we only need a little snippet so we can may have time to get to everybody. Yes, yes. Thank you.
Okay.
So I can definitely hear the range. I can definitely hear you're most comfortable in that area, or do you like to belt high as well?
I like to belt high, but again, I struggle with whether I should be in false, whether I should be in, you know.
Okay. Okay, so the first thing I think I'd comment on is the smile and getting a little bit more lift right here.
Okay.
And maintaining that lift so that as you're going up and certain vowels, they're right on top of the pitch. Some of them were kind of a little bit under or so staying within that lift. He that dwelleth in the secret place, right? Say that for me with a little bit of a snarl.
He that dwelleth in the secret place.
Yes, now with the snarl, but relaxing your jaw. Don't clench your bottom jaw.
He that dwelleth in the secret place.
Okay, so that probably feels weird, but we've got to find a little bit in between the two to where you're leaning into that, but you're not really squeezing that much. Okay?
Right.
He that dwelleth
in the sea. He that dwelleth in the sea. It feels weird.
Yes. So the other thing was not breathing in the middle of words, because if I don't know the song, I wouldn't know what secret is. Okay. So finding another place in that line, he that dwelleth in the sea. If you're having trouble getting all the way to secret place, finding another place where you can breathe to where the phrase continues.
Okay, gotcha.
So with that, those notes do a little bobbling up and down. Can you think about, can you think about all of those notes being on the same line? Instead of the he that, but he that dwelleth in the secret place. They all come on this same line, like right up here by your nose. Can you try that? I think I sang the secret place wrong.
No, you're fine.
For me?
Hold on.
Uh-huh.
He that dwelleth in the secret place.
Yes. So when you're working that in your full breath, because when we bob up and down and we don't put it on the same line, we can waste air that way.
Okay.
So
Okay.
you want to make sure you're being efficient with how much air you're using. Yes. And when you start that he, you're thinking about place. Not he that dwelleth. You're thinking about he that dwelleth in the secret place.
Yeah.
You're thinking about taking your breath all the way to place. Breathe of the Most High God. I can't remember.
Shall abide in His grace. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So think. I really like to take the words and draw arches
Okay.
on the phrase. I want to make sure I get from here to here on one breath.
Okay.
So that's what I would recommend you practicing.
Okay.
That song.
Okay.
Look at the words and draw an arch from phrase to phrase of the message, where you want to breathe, how far you want to take your breath, and then keeping the smile, keeping that lift in the front. Okay.
Sounds good.
Beautiful. Join the group. I love to work with you.
Thank you. I would love to. Yes.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, Rod. Who's next? Catrice McLean. Where are you? Let's see.
I'm here. How are you?
Good, and you?
I'm good, thank you.
You feel all right? You okay coming on camera?
Yeah, hold on.
Okay. It just helps me to see how you're producing the sound. Why does everybody want to call me right now?
Okay.
All
Can
right.
you see me now?
Thank you. Yes. No, it's fine. It's fine. All right. Tell us a little bit about yourself and what you'll be singing.
I am originally from Orangeburg, South Carolina. Miss Smith was my choral director. Whoop, whoop. I am a graduate of Livingstone College. I do have a degree in music. And so when I transitioned and moved to Louisville, Kentucky, I sat out for several years. And so most of my singing is primarily done in church. I do a church choir. I've participated in 2 productions with Rush Trow here. And so, yeah. I found though that from me teaching, and I'm not teaching music, but from me teaching and being a school counselor now, I do have issues with my vocal cords and all of that. And so just making sure I'm breathing. When I'm thinking, I'm breathing from my diaphragm. Sometimes it sounds like it's coming from my throat. I am a heavy hitter singer as far as my voice is heavy. And I do have a wide range, but I like to predominantly sing in most of the time in my lower registers. I do sing my soprano. I'm a first soprano. And so I sing soprano in the choir, but I can also fill in wherever needed in other sections. So
you have a good ear as well then. Good.
And so I found though that over the years, I often tend to go flat too. And so I think that goes along with the breathing. So we'll see. And that's why I'm doing the masterclass.
Thank you. Well, thank you for being here.
Thank you. I guess I'm going to do Precious Lord.
Okay, great.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn, so worn. And I'll stop right there.
Thank you. You know I wanted to hear Through the Storm, but that's all right. Sorry. Well, I might push you into Through the Storm in a second. So I'll start off with the same thing I was saying to Miss Smith about that space. because starting off with the chin so high, even with my chin right here, I feel pressure right here on the voice box. So it's a very strong muscle to kind of get in the habit of not using, okay? So if you're more conscious of it, precious Lord, are you holding a phone?
I am.
Okay, so bring the phone down, sing down to me. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So try it from there, precious Lord.
Precious Lord.
Sing down. Yep.
Take my hand.
I know. It's going to be very uncomfortable. I should have warned you. It's going to be very uncomfortable because, again, like I said, these are strong muscles that I'm not sure how old you are, but you've been using this way for however many years. And in like the next 30 seconds, I'm going to ask you to do the complete opposite. So be prepared for the uncomfortableness and all of that. But just, I want you to just really feel like the sound is going to ooze out down, okay? Instead of pushing the sound this way, I just want to want you to allow it to flow down. Precious Lord, if it were a hose of water, that hose is going to go this way, and I want that water to flow this way. All right? Okay. Do you have that visual?
I do.
Go.
Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand.
Pause.
And tired.
I should have let you keep going. I'm sorry. But can you analyze how that felt differently?
Yeah, I kind of felt more like I was going through my diaphragm more than through my throat. So that works. Yes.
Yes. The whole thing has to connect. It starts from the mind. You inhale, you connect that low abdominal region, you hook up that breath, you send it through, and the breath really does the work. Up here, we're really just spraying the sound. Be like, y'all want this? Y'all want some of this? Y'all want some of it? We really just shape the sound as the air comes out up here. So if you're feeling like you're having to create or make things happen, the muscles up here are getting in the way, okay? Lead me on to the, I'm tired, I'm weak, and I am tired, I'm weak, and I am worn. Instead of I am worn through the storm. And I like to kind of yell it out that way so I don't have to worry about pitch and I can really engage. Can y'all see this? Through the storm, through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Even when I'm singing, sitting down, I want that muscle engaged, okay? Through the storm.
Oh, wow. Through the storm, through the night.
That bottom belly.
Lead me on to the light. Take my hand.
Yes.
Precious
bottom belly.
Lord, and lead me on.
Keep it connected to that bottom belly. It's almost like you're going to pull all that weight down instead of pushing all that weight up as you sing, because you do have a weighty voice, but you want that weight to distribute evenly. You feel me? Yeah. You want that weight to just spread all out so that the voice can just coast. Okay? All Great. Right. Please, I hope you join the group. I'd love to work some more with you.
Yes, definitely.
All right. Thank you. And let's see who we have. Christina.
Hi.
Hi. Podetas, can you ask that question with Rod? No, we all don't have to sing. There were certain people that signed up. I just saw your message. Go ahead. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Wait, I don't have you in my. Where are you? There you are. There you are. There you are.
Here
How
I
can I
am.
pin you? There you are.
Hi.
Hi.
Well, my name is Christina. I'm originally from Alabama. I've been in Louisville, Kentucky for about 3 years. I just finished my master's in performance, and I also have a degree in Kodály music education. So I'm educator and performer.
Can you
Um,
come closer to the mic?
I can.
Yes, there you are.
This better?
Yes.
Okay. So educator and performer. Right after I finished at U of L, I did some professional music theater things. Um, I say some, I did one. Uh, and so it's a new type of singing for me. I love singing Mozart. And I grew up in opera. I've always done opera, so musical theater was a new thing, but I do love it. So what I have is it's a song called "I'll Be Here" from the show Ordinary Days.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with that one. So you're teaching me. Great. I love
Okay.
it.
So I will just start. Yeah. Because I'll be here right beside you as long as you want me to be. There's no question. There is nothing I've wanted so much in my life. This might sound immature, but I'm totally sure you're the one. And we had just begun. We got hitched in September, our favorite month, with a rock band that played in this old synagogue. And we bought an apartment on West 17th Street and talked about children and getting a dog. Our first anniversary came in a flash, and we promised to take the day off. He had to stop into his office that morning, and so I went walking uptown to this bakery I know. When I heard on the street what I thought was a joke, till I noticed the sirens and saw all the smoke. So I'm running back home with this feeling of dread, to the voicemail he left, to the last words he said.
Yes, yes, excellent. Thank you. Well, I mean, you certainly have the voice for it, for musical theater. And I can tell where you're not sure how to project the belt or that mixed tone, but you are blending very nicely. So keep working in that direction. I noticed when you did start to project, it looked like you were pressing from the chest. So in pressing, and I would think pressing up. So instead of the chest going down, you might feel this pressure push up and out on the chest. Um, First of all, I got all your words. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I didn't know it and I don't remember them all, but I could understand and I knew the story that you were telling. So articulation in that placement, great job. And when when you are working to project that mixed belt, if you could just feel that pressure coming up out of your chest instead of being pushed down, because when we sing opera, we do usually feel that pressure going down. This is, I think, a little bit different. So I'm not sure what part, but can you start from the beginning again? And every time you're doing the crescendo, push up and out, okay?
Because I'll be here right beside you as long as you want me to be. There's no question. There is nothing I've wanted so much in my life.
Can you put your hand on your chest and feel what's happening? There's something, start there again.
There is nothing I've wanted so much in my life. This might sound immature, but I'm totally sure you're the
You
one.
feel how you're working a lot right there. So yeah, just finding the balance, because you don't have to add that constriction there to, I don't think, to get the sound that you're going for.
Okay.
I would add more of the smile. So can you speak those words as if you're talking like this? What is that, Fran Drescher? Yeah, can you speak those words for me really quickly?
Because I'll be here right beside you as long as you want me to be. There's no question. There's nothing I've wanted so much in my life.
Yeah.
That was nice.
Yeah. All right, sing it for me, because you're used to feeling the voice. Sit up here. That's what we're always trained to feel. And the voice is up here, but we like smear it off the front of the mouth for this style. So it's just gonna kind of sit right there in the front. We still have that, but in order for, I think, this style to resonate, it's just kind of gonna come through that hard palate more.
Okay.
So try that for me.
Because I'll be here right beside you as long as you want me to be. There's no question.
And you also, we also didn't lose you on those lower notes. Keep going. Beautiful.
There is nothing I've wanted so much in my life. This might sound immature, but I'm totally sure you're the one.
I lost the lift.
Okay.
And I'm totally sure you're the one. I don't know it, but yeah, as you go, yeah, go ahead.
Totally sure you're the one. I think
Do that one more time. Put it on. Totally sure you're the one.
Totally sure you're the one.
Is that a little bit easier?
Uh-huh.
Okay, because you want the notes to connect. You don't want to have to rise and fall with the pitches, just the same as in opera. But it's just not going to all sit back here. It's all going to sit right here in the front. Okay? Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you. Oh, yeah, join the group. Join the group. Yeah, we got to work on this. Okay.
Thank you.
Who is next? Lenoris. Come on, camera
Hey.
love. Hi.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, and you?
Good.
Wait, I don't have you.
You got
I
me
don't have you.
here.
There you go. Wait, and now I
Yeah,
need you in my queue. What is happening? Keep talking.
So I'll introduce myself. Lenoris Alexander. I am living in Dublin, Ohio, Central Ohio. Originally from Detroit, Michigan. Musical background, choir director. I've taken voice lessons for off and on over some years. As a choir director, I think there was someone who said I don't give myself solos because I'm a baritone and gospel's challenging. It does not work on baritone, so I give those to other people.
So then you just write a baritone part. I mean, what? Go ahead.
So yeah, that's I'll stop there, so I won't use up too much time.
All right, and what are you singing for us?
So I'm gonna do Tennessee Whiskey. I have background music. Should I? Is that cool? Okay, cool.
Yes, please.
Used to spend my nights out in a barroom. Liquor was the only love I know. But you're asking me from reaching for the bottom and brought me back from being too far gone. You're as smooth as Tennessee whiskey. You're as sweet as strawberry wine. You're as warm as a glass of brandy. Honey, I'll stay stone on your love all the time.
Yeah, you are smooth, man. Thank you. So, one thing I think I would love to hear is more support connection and more strength in that low abdominal. So if you could put your hand below your belly button, do you feel that muscle down there engaging in your breath?
Not while I'm sitting, though.
It can engage even while you're standing. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
So sing a scale for me in your range and try to focus on that muscle there. All right, now take it in the Tennessee range. I think that's where you started. All right, now as you do that, I saw your chest tighten. I'd love to instead feel that muscle tighten, that bottom muscle tighten instead of your chest. Do that scale again. Did you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Do it one more time and tighten that muscle. Grip that muscle even more. Yes. So how does it start?
Used to spend my nights out.
All right. So you used to spend my nights out. I'd love more space instead of used to spend my nights out. And I'm not trying to get you to sing it as operatically, but the sound is getting trapped a bit, and that's going to translate into tension in the throat. Okay. So try that again and start with that low bottom muscle. Feel that engage first before you start your line.
Used to spend my nights out in the barroom.
Yes, keep going.
Liquor was the only love.
Bottom muscle first. You gave me this first. Give me the liquor, whatever it is.
Liquor was the only love I know.
Good. Now, you probably feel like, oh, I don't want to be that loud in the beginning. So you've got to keep working. I could tell, I could read it on your face, but everything has to connect to that muscle. So your falsetto is going to have a different connection because, or your soft singing is going to have a different connection because you're starting with that muscle. So it's going to take some getting used to, but I would rather start with the support and then kind of tiptoe here and there and shade colors in rather than starting without the support and then trying to find it later when the song gets bigger. Make sense? Sing the next part for me.
But you rescued me from reaching
But you
for
what?
the bottom. But you rescued me from reaching for
But
the
you
bottom.
rescued me. Yeah, you gave me rescued me. Rescue me.
But you rescued me from reaching for the bottom.
Keep going.
And brought me back from being too far gone.
So you're going to play around with that and play around with more air in the tone from being, so you can have the connection, but can play around with the color in the voice. But the connection has to start down there, okay? And I feel like it'll get easier and easier to dip into heavy or full voice, light voice, etc. if you're coming from that connection, for lack of or that support. Okay. I think that's all I have for you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, I muted myself. Chantel.
Hello.
Hello, darling. Let's pull you up. So Rod has your video. So Chantel saying her connection gets to, go ahead.
She's going to sing
I
live.
can sing a lot.
Okay, come on.
Yeah, this is a different quick song.
All right. And then let me pull it up. I don't have you tagged. There we are. For some reason, I have to do it manually. All right, let's go.
Okay. So can you hear me?
I can hear you great. Your video is a little choppy, but I can hear you great.
Okay, good. So my name is Chantel. I am studying music performance, vocal performance at Carnegie Mellon University. I have was also recently in the ensemble of Porgy and Bess at the Metropolitan Opera. And also, even though I sing classically, I also sing live in my church. I sing spirituals and a couple of gigs and performances out in the Pittsburgh area. So,
And what
I
you
can
sing
sing
for us?
real quick.
Yeah, yeah.
What I can sing is the spiritual, quick spiritual, Talk About a Child. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here is one. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here is one. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here is one. Yes, beautiful. Yeah, I love that spiritual. I love it. And you did it very well, very well. Thank you.
The first thing, you already know your placement. You've got good breath support. I would love to hear you lip trill on that melody and balance out your use of air so that it's more even. I'm hearing some that are really accented, and I want to make sure that you're doing that for effect and it's not, you're kind of over pumping the breath. Okay. So do that on a lip trill. So do that again. It was a little bit off the pitch center, and think very connected from talk and Jesus. Okay. Very, we call it pulling taffy. I like to have the sound oozing or the breath oozing together. However you need to feel a more solid connection. It cut out. I'm not hearing you. Oh crap. Do it again.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, it just got really quiet after that do love, and I was like, oh crap. I'll do it one more time.
Okay.
I'm not sure why it's doing that, but looking at you, it seemed a bit more connected. How did it feel?
More connected to me, it did.
Thank you. So can you sing that first line again and have that same streamline of air? If you were to give that air a speed limit, what speed would you give what you just did?
Not quite sure. Like tempo speed, quick one.
A number, just if you're driving a car, a speed that you would have driving in the car. Would it be 35, 45, 25?
Oh, okay. I would say 35.
35. Okay. Can you give it the first line the speed of about 25? Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here is one. I was saying 25, stay at 25, stay at 25. Okay. And then the next level, 35.
Okay.
Then the next phrase, you feel me?
Yeah.
Talk about a child. That was 45. Do it again. Start at 25.
Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here is one. Talk about a child that does Jesus.
Can you keep that at 35? That felt like 55.
Which
If the first verse or the stanza was 25, I felt like you jumped up to 45 or 55 on the second one. Talk about a child, and it doesn't give you much place to go with your nuance and your dynamics. You feel me?
Yeah.
So yeah, you're being more reserved so that you can really give it on the last stanza. One more time.
Okay.
Talk about a child that do love Jesus.
Try one thing for me. Can you bring your tongue down closer to your bottom teeth just for the lower pitches? I feel like it's falling in the back for the lower.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderfully cushioned in the upper, but I feel like you might be swallowing it a little bit in the lower pitches. Okay.
Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here is one. Talk about a child that does Jesus. Here is one. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Talk about a child that do love Jesus. Here is one.
Yes, yes, yes. When in your lower pitches, just keep the tongue more relaxed. That's all it is. You're tightening it up and it's getting lost. When you come down, come forward.
Okay.
Yes, beautiful, beautiful. All right, do we have, yeah, okay, she's the last one. So we have some time for questions if you all do. Yes, Lenoris. Did you have a question? Oh, no. Sorry.
No, not me.
Like, okay, anybody have questions that I may have dropped it in the chat that I didn't get a chance to see?
Didn't see any questions in the chat.
Okay, who raised I did see someone raise their hand. I can't remember who. If you all have any questions, you can ask them. Okay, I see a message now about crossover from opera to musical theater. Absolutely. So, no, that's fine. Hi, Aaron. I'm sorry you're not feeling well. But from crossover, to me, the airflow is pretty much the same. It needs to come from the same foundation. And for me, the crossover happens in the placement in the mouth as the sound is leaving my mouth. So for opera, it's placed for me and how I would work with my students. It's placed, the sound is focused in the soft palate. So, right back here, yes. And then as I merge into either the middle or the front of the mouth, I would lean into for musical theater. So the lift is the same, and it's almost like I'm just spreading it from either, if I want opera, I'll spread it in the back. If I want Gospel, I'll kind of spread it to the sides. If I want musical theater, I'll spread it in the front. But I also know what it feels like when it's bouncing off of those resonators. So I'm going back to front to back to get the different colors, if you will. Does that, Aaron, come off mute? Does that answer? Does that help?
Yeah, it does. That's really exactly what I needed to hear.
Okay, good. If I need to clear, add more to it. It seems when in the beginning of a song, it's difficult to bring forth proper sound. All right. So Jocelyn, it depends on, I had a teacher that would say, breathe in the note. So if I'm starting Amazing Grace, I would want to feel the depth, the airflow, all of that needed, the placement for up. Amazing Grace. So I'm thinking ahead of where I'm going. When we get in the car and we get ready to go somewhere, we don't just start driving and like, oh, where am I going? We know we either have the GPS on or we know the direction we need to go in. So same thing when you start a phrase, when you start a song, be thinking with the end in mind, thinking with the full phrases in mind. Precious Lord. Let's see, if I wanted to sing it operatically, I would breathe in a more soft, pallid placed breath. Precious Lord. More gospel-y. Precious Lord. More musical theater. Precious Lord. It's all coming from the breath. It is just where I position the airflow to get the different placements or the different sounds. Does that help?
It does. Thanks.
Any other, you need me to add anything to it?
Not right now. I'll talk to you about that later.
Okay, all right. Thank you. Let's see, anyone else? Keith, hi Keith. What are some exercises that were helpful to you while rehabilitating your, you got to join the group for that. Yes, that's how I built the program. These were exercises that I did and developed for rehabilitation. But a big thing would be singing through a straw. And that brings the occlusion or the vocal cords together in a more relaxed placement. Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me into the so it helps me to focus the airflow into a more focused shape. I would practice my songs through that. You could buzz through the songs, through the straw. So it's getting to the point where you are not over pressurized or not using too much air to engage the sound. So that would be one exercise that and a lot of lip trills, I swear by lip trills. They really help me to balance out my breath. I still do them, especially when I get to a point in my high range and I'm trying to power it out. I'll go to a lip trill to help me know just how much air I need to use and to get through that phrase. Yeah, without over stressing myself. What's the name of the Facebook group? Here's some tips. What are some tips to ensure that we are using our diaphragm properly? I love to use lip trills. Building that, well, knowing where the breath is. And again, you will have to get in the program to get all of my tips. But I like to just you would find your rib cage and you would place your hands on your rib cage and knowing where the breath lives. Where do you need to expand? So if you know your lungs, where your lungs live, that's where you can focus that breath. So that will be my inhale and my exhale. In the front, you might see So I do a lot of just breathing exercises, stretching to where I'm just focusing the energy and the breath right in this region. And instead of only thinking about my breath when I'm going to sing. So doing voiceless exercises, hisses and pants, doing the lip trills, where you're powering from here. So like I said, all of that will be in the program, but that would just be one thing that I give you real quick to work on. So knowing where that breath comes from, and that takes time. It's like with any athlete, they don't really learn the fundamentals of the game by just playing the game over and over again. They've got to do their running drills, their shooting drills, their dribbling drills, all the drills. So all these are exercises, are drills to help strengthen that one skill set. So when you go to put it together in the game, you can submit to the drills or the steps that you've put in place. So one big thing I would tell you to do, and this is for everybody, and I shouldn't say I hate, it was uncomfortable doing this work, but getting a notebook and taking inventory, watching myself, watching where I'm breathing, watching when I'm singing, where I'm adding tension and pressure, and then taking inventory of how often am I supporting that sound? Like how often am I practicing? Am I practicing every day, once a week? You know, with any athlete, if I don't have a regimen of what I need to do to work on those muscles, to build those muscles up, I'm gonna get the same results. So when I had to go back and just do the bare minimum. It was very tedious. And I thought after I had all my degrees, I had it all figured out. So it taught me that I had a lot more to learn, a lot more that I had to put in place to make sure that I was focused on a healthy and balanced production every time. Because studying opera, there's a lot of pressure on us to make this perfect placed, perfect breath, phrasing, all of that. And there's a lot of pressure that can start to translate into tension in the throat, tension in the body, etc. So I had to kind of do a lot of unlearning and peeling away at the pressure that I was putting on myself to produce a certain sound. And yeah, I had to take that pressure off myself. So that would be my recommendation. Take inventory, to get a journal, write down what you're feeling, start with that, and then join the program once we launch. Any other questions? Oh, thanks, Jocelyn. I'm so glad. Any tips for students with an overly nasal tone? I would say plug your nose and make sure that you're not sounding like this when you do. Because when you're able to sound like you're not in your nose, your soft palate is lifted. So if you're giving me as soon as you plug your nose, it's gonna cut off the resonance. So you would practice with that nose covered. So that's my indicator to let me know my soft palate fell. Pick it back up. Okay. And the soft palate is the umbrella for all the voices, all the sounds, all the styles. It helps to balance out the air pressure as the voice vibrates. So we always want some level of lift in the soft palate. Okay. Let's see. Anybody else? We ready to go? I'm tired. I love y'all. Thank you, Rhonda. Thank you, guys. So be sure to join the group. I'll be sending out information for the boot camp. Thank you.